Hey guys, it's Kusi.
Rough Productions proudly presents Zero to Hero. From the creator of Make Affliction Great Again, the aspect of the bussy dragonflight, calling people muppets, and 0 to almost 3.5k Raider IO, comes the series you all been waiting for. The most requested character in the history of this crappy-ass YouTube channel, a fan favorite and one to finally bring back some juice after the boring-ass Brewmaster journey. Cause let's be honest, tank is too easy after all. Prepare your anus for a class that isn't a hunter, a mage, priest, shaman, rogue, fap knight, warrior, and damn sure neither beastmaster or augmentation. This dude will make you get excited so much that you need to explain to your girl why you're rock hard whenever he uploads. But not when she's laying next to you to give you the double-twisted gluck gluck. You asked for it, and you get it. Zero to Hero proudly brings to you the 3K Adventure, in which we answer all the important questions. Does the B and JB stand for baby oil? How much cuss could a cussy slayer slay if a cussy slayer could slay cuss? And how do you call a lesbian dinosaur? Be prepared to witness the rise of the guy who whispers to demons during the day and to your mama at night.
Many have requested it, so now your boy delivers. After getting spooned by every demo log we found in Dragonflight during the Affliction series, we now apply the old saying, if you can't beat them, join them. But first of all, I want to say two things. How about you like and subscribe for that insane intro, since I invested a lot more time into that than into finding my dad. Disregarding, before we go over the rules of this series like we usually do, allow me to invite you into a little detour towards the just recently finished Brewmaster series. Not only am I pleasantly surprised about the amount of you having an occasionally strong opinion about the spec, I was very happy that we could overall agree in this review as well. So I'm here to announce that I'ma do this for every character I'm doing a series on, good or bad. Yes! 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 An honest review to mention the things I personally like and dislike, to give everyone that potentially thinks about playing the spec themselves a fair and most honest point of view.
My man.
Now then, Demo Warlock seems to be in a pretty solid situation right now when it comes to Mythic Plus. Even though there are quite a few more destruction logs registered, I only see the Yeeter of Imps in my parties, and so I thought I'd finally give in and play a class that I personally always was a fan of, as well as a spec many of you requested over the past year and a half. Granted, I'm not naked when it comes to the experience of Demolog gameplay this expansion, because I did this one run in Season 1 where my ass just got backseat gamed by you guys in the livestream, which means I'm pretty much a pro. In theory.
Okay.
In reality, I have no idea what's up. Apparently you summon a big manly man demon with an axe, doggies, the big doggy, another manly man demon on a big ass cooldown, plenty of cannon fodder sack nibblers, and then that big ass dude from Freerin that is considered OP, but turned out to be nothing but a glass cannon. Be that as it may, I was hyped for some action, and so while I show you some Mythic Zero in the back, let's talk about rules as well as goals about the series.
Okay, let's go.
First and foremost, it goes without saying that this is a full-blown puck adventure. We mostly play our own key, and then we apply to some, the good old-fashioned way. Second rule follows the same guideline, no friend list usage. I am mostly set to appear offline anyways in order to avoid any spoilers for anybody in my friend list, so that works out. Now, an exception here is a guild. I will obviously not join our community guild, but if the opportunity arrives to join a random one, I usually take that and try to see what's up. After all, the game should be enjoyed with a social construct of guilds, and every one of us can use that. Fourth rule will be gold. I'm quite against the idea of farming gold to get some items crafted in the future, but I got quite lucky with the weekly events I've been doing, so I'ma go ahead and assume that I'm set for the series, which means no external gold. Speaking of external stuff, no warbound items from my personal collection. I don't really consider this cheating as they are champion at max, but I'm too much of an addict, and so I'm just gonna get my starting gear up the old fashioned way. And last but not least, no Radar IO collection, obviously. As mentioned, the goal will be Keystone Legend at 3k rating this time around, which I got mixed feelings about seeing how wonky most tanks play these days. Nonetheless, I'm all up for it. Now with that out of the way, let me quickly drag your crusty ass through the gearing process I zoomed through after achieving max level. Siren Isle for a good start in item level and some irreplaceable ring to the end of the season. Good stuff. World Quest events, as 2 of them each week, will give you a random veteran piece of loot, which is really nice to start us off. Furthermore, I activated War Mode and found both World Quests as well as Sparks of War in order to purchase some PvP veteran items without actually doing PvP. But then came arguably the best source of items, Delves. Every week you're able to loot up to 4 copper keys that will grant you a guaranteed champion item level piece from a bountiful delve. And you can even get some extra keys from all the reputation quests you possibly enabled over time. Yet it turns out that plus 8 delves have a recommended item level of 630, which is not what I have. But luckily, Warlock is a pet class, and so I have no doubt that... That's gonna be a lot more difficult than I expected. It was only after I figured out that running into those little healing potions brand drops, our big beefy boy, or short Triple B, also will receive healing.
You're joking.
What also helped was figuring out that the action button actually will handle the annoying mobs that are whooping my ass in here. Also, I made Triple B's frame giga big so I can keep track of its HP, and as soon as I got the hang of it, delves weren't an issue any longer. Now you can call me a cheater if you will, but I actually recorded the gearing arc during the week of the War Within Dungeon Weekly, which grants us a heroic raid item for free after completing 4 dungeons on Mythic. What can I say, man? I like some gambling, okay? And because I don't want to spend all video talking about the gearing, this is how it looks like before going into our first key. 636 item level, no tier set even though I killed a few bosses in LFR, and I got this super insane as well as unique item in my weekly. Hashtag no haste, hashtag no good. At least playing all the delves got me into a rotation a little bit. The core idea is to, well, have as many demons up as possible, as often as possible.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
So you got 20-second cooldown puppies, 30-second cooldown big puppy, and 2-minute cooldown Felguard puppy? Your main cooldown, however, is your Tyrant, which is on a 1-minute cooldown. And this bad boy gets enhanced for every demon you got currently active, while also resetting their duration, which is especially relevant for all the big demons you got. So all the cooldowns line up proper, unless you just don't use them right away. This will easily be the most difficult thing for me to track in the future. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a hot second to actually find a healer and a tank for this key, and my tip to you is, don't just invite 2 DPS. Always keep DPS slots open for potential 2-man stacks with either a tank or a heal present. At least 1 slot. But boy was the first pull worth the wait, as this was the moment where I realized that this spec will go ham to an insane degree once I got some gear and once I got the hang of the setup. Peaking at 7.5 million in the first key done is the stuff that fuels my addiction. Unfortunately, like me, reality came quick, and unlike me, it came hard.
Naughty, naughty.
Tank added Chewie in the mix, which was just, yeah, no bueno to say the least. Solid 12 deaths before the first boss, but it didn't end there. Boy, was this a struggle to say the least. The fact that we actually just timed it by +1 was something I didn't see coming at all, and yet we are rewarded for the pumpage. Champ shoulders, hell yeah. And while the pump was strong with me during this run, the Dark Flame Cleft was about to tickle my competitiveness. 2 keys in and I was ready for my first lock off, and both started off strong. Yet once again, I fell behind, so I had to inspect him. Brother actually rocks the 4th set on 640 item level, that's crazy. I legit felt like I only won during one specific fight where he dirt napped and I was able to snipe the entire pack before he returned. Other than that, oh wait.
Another one.
And because this run went somewhat smooth so far, we had to make it spicy towards the end, because why not? But don't take my word for it.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal.
Let it be explained by the words of our Mistweaver, who just had one constructive advice after the other in order to make this an enjoyable run at the end. Yet as you can imagine with the struggle we had during the candle minigame, the last boss was anything but easy. We wiped hard, and then I said I would do the candle myself, non-stop. I was untrusting in all of us grabbing one every now and then, Turns out they didn't. At least we still two-chased it and I was able to beat the other log. Get shit on, kid.
I'm an adult virgin.
I'ma go ahead and assume that they didn't track the damage proper when I was dead during the card escort, but who cares? Your boy's on top, baby. Prove me wrong. I wasn't done here in my attempt to push the +6 keys as quick as possible, and so we continue with the rookery +5 I had, which I completely forgot to record. Look man, it was a different day, okay? It happens. This is the moment that I realized it. However, the run wasn't anything special. 5 deaths and only a +1 in the end, so you know we went slow and steady for the most part. I guess we just take this dungeon for context for the +6 top I received from it. And boy, was this a special one. Firstly, I got a Hunter Druid combo applying by saying big damage. So of course I had to take them. Saying it's like swearing on your mama, so no way in hell that they're lying to me. But here's where I should have left instantly. I gave the Hunter lead because he got a higher rating and the guy invited a 615 Restore Druid because he said he has a 3k main, which was true, I checked it, but it's still 615 item level with random ass gear. I would not trust in anybody to heal a +6 key with that, at least not in the pug situation. But let's come back to the second warning. Remember when they mentioned that they got big damage?
Yes.
Well, they didn't mention that they can't play mechanics and die to everything in their way. At least they were talking some shit though, I can appreciate that. But the fun part started in the Lich area of the dungeon. I simply refuse to understand why tanks use the right side of portal in pugs. You always have to deal with casters that can one-tap a party member, and the amount of times the same mob gets kicked by 3 people is not even funny. So we got Bone Spear Texas style. And then all of us kicked the Bone Spear guy while nobody kicked the AoE Shadow Bolt. You could feel that things get a little bit heated at this point, but the funniest thing was the realization of this. My key was to the 6. I mean, we did time a +5 rookery, remember? But here's what happened. Not gonna lie, I absolutely felt that it was a bit weird timing wise when I started the key, but I didn't bother to check. So somebody else sneaked their key in to potentially snag a quick free key upgrade without making the party themselves. But instead, they got a +4 top. Suck it, bitch boy.
You can't say that!
This was absolutely hilarious to me and I was happy I had this recorded. The Hunter told me afterwards that I shouldn't advertise a +6 key if I have a +5. I explained to him that I still have my +6 key and he legit asked, do you have resilient +6?
What's going on? What?
First of all, I don't even think that's a thing. Second of all, how in the world would I have a resilient +6 key if we just played a +5 and you think it's my key?
I don't know, Jeff.
So many questions. I didn't bother to check who had the top key when I figured out what happened, so I don't know who it was, but nonetheless, we still have a +6 key to go for. This one also was a promising start. I did make sure to check afterwards if this is my key this time though. I was also happy we were able to skip the first pack with the Demon Hunter, but the other Hunter had a different plan. However, I didn't use CDs this time, so I was ready to send it on the boss. Not even comparable. This run went so much cleaner as we ended on a solid +2 with 3 deaths or so, which only left me with one more duty for the week, the delve for the hero item. I had to do the stinkhole, which ironically is what they call your mama in high school.
Damn!
But what I didn't care to give any kind of attention was the time. But boy, was it worth it. I got the flippin' Funhouse lens, which funnily enough was the reason I wanted to stack up 3 vault slots for the delves. Hell yeah, baby. But because this marks the end of our first week of properly playing with the class, I will give you a quick glimpse of the vault, because that thing was stacked. We got shit boots, shit cloak, shit offhand, shit trinket, and
What the hell is even that?